Hello friends, today we are going to see how we can install Kali Linux operating system into VirtualBox. We can also use the virtual machine for the installation, but VirtualBox is a good software and the open source. So firstly, we have to download the VirtualBox. For that, go to Google and type download VirtualBox. VirtualBox. You can see here the first download page has been arrived. Here the Windows OS X and Linux distribution. You can download VirtualBox for the any of these platform. I am using here the OS X. If you are using Windows, then go for the Windows. After the download, you have to just install it. Installation has very simple steps, so I will not cover here how to install a software. After the installation, you will have this kind of interface for the Oracle VM VirtualBox. So we have to install the Kali Linux. For that, we have to download first the Kali Linux operating system. I have already downloaded here the ISO. I show you how to download it. Just go to Google and type download Kali Linux. Here is a kali.org website, and here it is given you the two options. The you can download direct installer and you can download from the torrent. It is your choice in which way you want to download. After that, you can have this Kali Linux ISO file. After that, we have to create a new virtual box here, virtual machine here. We are going to name it Kali 1. It is showing here the machine folder and the type. Type is not Microsoft Windows. We are going to install Linux operating system, and the version is the Debian 64 because the Kali Linux is based on Debian. Then continue. You can give RAM according to your preference. I am going to give here the 2 GB RAM, 2048. Then continue. Create virtual hard disk. Create VirtualBox VDI. Dynamic continue. Here it is asking you for the hard drive. How much hard drive you want to allocate to the Kali Linux operating system. I suggest you to give minimum 10 GB. I am here giving 15 GB of the hard drive. Now you can see here Kali Linux virtual machine has been created, but we have to attach this ISO file to this virtual machine. So for that, go to setting, then storage. You can see here the empty space. We have to attach here the ISO file this and then press OK. Okay, now we are done with the creating virtual machine. Now we will go to the installation process of the Kali Linux. Let's start the installation process. So click on start button. It is confirming that you want to continue with this ISO file or wanted to change it. We are not going to change it, and so hit start. First step of installation is on screen. Here is two options we can go with. First is graphical install and second is a simple installation. There is not a big difference between them, so we are going with graphical install because it looks little bit uh, good in graphical way. So hit on graphical install. Now you have to choose the language of your preference. I select English and hit continue. Asking for location, we are selecting here India and hit continue. India and hit continue. It is asking for the which key map we want to use. We go with the standard American English key map and continue. Now we have to give host name for the system. It is showing Kali by default, so we are going to use default one and the hit continue. Now asking for the domain name, but we don't have it, so make it blank and hit continue. Now give full name of a user. I can write my name, Dharmik Patel, and then continue. Here is the username of your user, Dharmik, and hit continue. Now it is asking for the password. Give your password, re-enter it, and then hit continue. Here we have to select the partition in which we want to install Kali Linux. Don't go with manual. If you have multiple disks and you want to manually set up primary disk, then and then go with manual option. We are going with guided and hit continue. It is showing our device, our drive. Select it and continue. This is our drive. Continue. All files. Select all files in one partition and hit continue. Finish partition and write changes to the disk and then continue. It is asking for our permission that we allow write changes to the disk or not. Go with yes and continue. We are allowing the changes. Now asking for grub bootloader. It is asking for that you have if you want to install or not. We want to install it. Click select yes and then continue. Now it is showing partition of our drive. In which partition we want to install grub bootloader. We only have one partition here. Select it and hit continue. Now installation has been completed. Hit continue and system will now reboot. Here you can see booting screen of the Kali Linux. Login screen of the Kali Linux is here and we can log into our operating system with our username and password. So let's put the username and password and hit enter. Let's do the full screen. We are successfully inside our Kali Linux operating system. You can see here. You can use everything. We will talk about OS in another video. For watching this kind of interesting videos, subscribe our channel. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.